doing this morning?
Good.
Good. Ooh, I'm
This should be a
amazingly.
short one.
What's
I
that,
appreciate
Roger?
everybody. This should be a short one today. I appreciate everybody doing this. I know I don't want to overwhelm you guys with all these board meetings, but this is one we needed to get done. So again, I appreciate you guys being available. Try to keep the burden low on being a board member, but once you're very involved, this one is just kind of a, hey, we got to revise something. So, but we got to do it in order to get the deal done. So, and it is a big deal. Big bond. We want to get it right. Get out of the swap situation. So that'll be good. Let's see, just a couple more joined on here. It is 9 o'clock, so we can start. I'm assuming we got.
We're good.
Looks like we got well more than we need.
Yeah.
For quorums. I mean, you're all needed. We got a lot of those who's coming through. So obviously with the bond transactions, we lean heavily on our partners as far as our financial advisor, Laura Lewis is here, and Brad Patterson, out bond counsel, and they can certainly answer questions as we get into it today.
I'm on the wrong side of the table. I think I'm sitting in your chair because it's all set up so high.
Well, Laura, we've got the camera up there on the TV.
Oh,
If you want to be looking at it, we don't have one to sit in front of you though.
Okay, so we rock and
They
roll.
can hear you.
Oh, okay, great. All right, thank you, everyone.
We got to start the meeting.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
We're just
I was like, wow, they're
pleasantries, you know.
I thought, no. Kind of scattered.
It is
Monday.
9:01, so just let me know when we have a quorum, Krista.
We've got a quorum.
Oh, we do? Okay. Well, let's get going. Welcome, everybody, to the meeting. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you
Hello
there.
there.
And we do have a quorum to proceed, so we'll move ahead with the single item on the agenda, approval of resolution UT 22-10. Roger, let's go ahead and take it away and explain and/or hand it off to Laura.
So we've already had this come up. We're revising it though. There was kind of an issue of purposes and uses of money. If there was money to come out of the transaction, we need to be in a position to be able to use that money. And it wasn't an insignificant amount. You know, we wouldn't gather everybody together if this was just, you know, $10,000 or something like that. But we don't really know how much money will be there. Maybe it's not a lot, but it could be millions. And so in order to make sure that we have the flexibility with those funds, we had to revise some of the language. We'll have to have a public hearing, which is scheduled for 2 weeks from today.
No. It was published last
Oh, that's
week.
right. We went for the earlier
Right.
date.
So part of this resolution will be to ratify that publication.
Yeah. So anyways, that's the issue. Do you want to talk a little more detail, Laura, about the transaction?
Well, in regard to the market, last Wednesday or Thursday, was a great day for the stock market. There were some inflationary numbers that came out that were lower than what was projected. And so the market kind of got excited of, oh, inflation is going to start to be under control and maybe the Fed won't keep raising rates. And actually treasury rates and MMD, the tax exempt rates, came down a lot. Obviously, I'm really tuned into the tax exempt side, but long end on the MMD came down 18 basis points. So while part of us want to celebrate because that will help UIA West Haven if that holds, but this particular UTOPIA transaction, it depends on the movement between LIBOR and MMD, and those, whenever moves happen, we tend to kind of get out of whack. So we're still waiting for updates in terms of the swap termination fees and getting new projected rates. So I don't know today what the estimate would be in terms of what kind of money we could generate out of this transaction. The high point, as we've been watching it, has been close to 7 million. The most recent before this market change has been about 3 million that we thought we could get out of this transaction. And so it made sense to make sure that if we did hit a point where we can get money out of this, that the resolutions allow for that. And that's why we're having this meeting today, so that we can, plan for that. And then I'll also let you know that we, given the recent market moves, KeyBank Capital Markets is looking internally to see whether they could get an anytime call. And Steve Johnson, who has had the most work with B of A, is going to talk to B of A to see if we can get an anytime call from them. Because the current plan would be to price these bonds, not looking at the calendar, I want to say on the 28th. Is that a Monday?
I think wasn't the 29th? Oh, price 28th.
Pre-price 28th, price the 29th, and close on the 1st. But if the market is really bad that day, and the reason for the first closing is because that is when the bonds are callable. The conditional call notice has been sent to the bondholders, to B of A and KeyBank, and they're planning on that. But if the market isn't good for us in terms of generating at least a break even or savings on the 29th, then we want to see if they will give us the flexibility to maybe price on December 6th and close a few days after. So we're working on that to see if we have some flexibility. I am fairly certain we'll get it from KeyBank. We don't have a lot of carrots or sticks to hang to use to help with B of A. I'm hopeful they'll be cooperative. It doesn't hurt them, in my opinion, to be cooperative, but that's where we are on that. Any questions?
Board, any questions? Yep. The only question I had, Laura, was, and I know this is true of all bond transactions, but this one's more particularly so in the terms of trying to be flexible as to the approach date for making determination of when to proceed, as opposed to sort of letting the normal process drive it. I think you've answered that question there pretty well in terms of how we're going to approach that. So appreciate that. Thank you. And just wanted to make sure that if the rest of the board had any questions at all, they would bring them up now.
So just for clarification, this is Adam from Linden. This completely nullifies and replaces the resolution and documents that we approved at the last meeting. Is that correct?
This is Brad Patterson, bond counsel from Gilmore and Bell. It does not eliminate those. This resolution only supplements that previous resolution. So
I see. Okay.
That's still in effect.
Okay.
So to that question and point, which is a good one, Adam and Brad, the question would be for you. The difference between supplementary resolution as opposed to amendment, if I would understand it correctly, is it actually doesn't change anything in the previous documents. It only adds to. Is that correct? Is there any effectual difference between the two or not?
Well, no, not in the long run. I guess from the standpoint that it has to do more kind of with the timing of the publications that we put out there already. We want to make sure those are still in effect for purposes of running certain contestability periods. So the contestability period for the refunding would have effectively run, but the contestability period for the new money doesn't start until such time that we take action with respect to this particular resolution.
Okay. All right, Adam.
But the contestability period for the new money doesn't start until such time that we take action with respect to this particular resolution.
Okay. All right, Adam.
But the contestability period for the new money doesn't start until such time that we take action.
I'm good. Thanks, Wayne.
Okay. Thanks, Adam. And also, I'm not sure if I'm hearing this correctly. It sounds like we've got a little bit of a lag. So I'll stop talking, turn the meeting back over to Roger for any further comment. If there's no further comment, and if you guys can hear me, I'm going to then ask for a motion to approve the resolution.
Sorry about it. I think we fixed our AV issue. We started using this computer in the front of the room. It kind of, I don't know, locked up, and then so I think we got all the right mutes and unmutes and things disconnected. But
All right, can you hear me, Roger?
yeah, I can hear you.
All right, anybody on the board, any final questions? If not, can we have a motion for consideration?
One thing.
Laura, go ahead.
It's worth noting that the public hearing that you're setting will be on the 23rd. And my understanding is, Brad can chime in, you don't need to gather as a board to hold that hearing, but
That's
Rob,
correct. We can designate an officer to do so. And so we will designate Roger to be the person who holds the public hearing. It will be held at Utopia's offices, and people will have the opportunity to come in and voice their opinions as to this particular project.
So we'll have it as a meeting. We'll record it. If anybody shows up to comment, we'll share that so the board has that information. But we'd be surprised if anybody does. But we'll conduct it. It'll be open. It'll be published. It's already published. So that's compliant. We don't have to gather everybody for a meeting to listen to no one comment. So that should be a better use of your time. You get the invite, yeah, if you really want to come. But we don't need to have a quorum. We don't really even need to have a board presence there. Okay.
That's why I wanted to remind you, so thank you.
If it was a controversial one, I'd encourage you all to attend.
So Roger, this is Jeff. Sorry, I'm driving at the moment, but just wanted to clarify. So this just further enable us to do what we had talked about in our last meeting. This just gives us more opportunity to pull that trigger when the time's right.
Yeah, what it's really giving you the opportunity to do is to, if we can generate any new money, it allows us for you to use it. Otherwise, if we didn't have this, we would be, I mean, let's say that we could, transact it, and it was, it was within the threshold that you provided to us, and it was, not only break even, but we generated $2 million in savings. The plan is to, pull that savings out so that Utopia can use it to go build more things. If we don't take the action today, we would be able to do the transaction, but you wouldn't be able to keep that extra $2 million. We would have to lower the amount of the bonds so that you would have no access to that new money.
But even if that were to happen, it doesn't affect the pledge agreements.
Right.
So it's not like, hey, that suddenly frees up money related to pledge agreements or anything like that. Those stay, in fact, where all this lives within those pledge agreements. Now, it's a good thing if Utopia has some money, because then we can do some installations and attribute some things to Utopia that generates more revenue for Utopia, puts us in a better position to pay the bonds debt instead of the city's paying for that. As we've made really good progress at UIA, put us in a position to help with the debt burden at Utopia. It'd be nice to do some of that at Utopia as well. So any ability to generate cash at Utopia is a good thing. It allows us to invest that money and create revenues from that money. So that's our goal, is to be able to use that money if we're able to save some money on the transaction. We have to do this sort of thing anyways, because the index that it's tied to is going away. We have to come up with a new structure. Doing it right now is just good because we kind of get the benefit of where rates are, as well as not, take care of the problem that's coming next summer. Is that what it is? Is that accurate? Yeah. So basically the same thing we did last time, just with a little more flexibility for the use of the funds.
I move that we approve resolution number UT 22-10.
Okay,
That's
thanks.
all.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Brenda. Okay, Krista.
Can you hear me okay through Roger's
And
computer?
just a quick clarification, this is, we have board members that are not pledging members to this bond. So therefore this would be a vote of the pledging members. We love participation from our non-pledging cities too. Obviously we're building out Cedar Hills, and that's an important project for us. We appreciate their involvement, but For this vote, it's a vote of the pledging members.
All right, so do we need anything different procedurally?
No, I'll just call roll call.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Krista.
Jeff Lamson,
Aye.
Adam Cowie,
Aye.
Matt Dahl,
Aye.
Sean Warnke,
Aye.
Tom Peterson,
Aye.
Brenda Moore,
Aye.
Robin Meekum, Robin Meekum. I'll come back. Zach Bloxham,
Aye.
Jason Sant,
Yes.
Todd Christensen,
Aye.
and then Robin Meekum.
Aye.
There you go. Oh, and William Kyle.
Aye.
All right.
Great. That's it. Unless you have anything else for us. Appreciate you being available. Oh, did you have a question come up? Hold on a second.
Wondering if you responded to bountiful RFP. When Tom Peterson was wondering if we had responded.
Oh, it's not closed yet, so no comment.
Okay, well, then if there's nothing else, can we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. This is Adam.
Thank you, Adam. Without objection, all in favor of adjourning the meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you all for attending and taking your time this morning. It's good to see you.
Thank
Look forward
Thank
to,
you.
look forward to the accomplishment here. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.